Hi guys, welcome back. Capricorns, I actually feel like I want to just start with this deck first, but we're going to do a little Celtic Cross Tree of Life message first. We have a 10 of Wands. All right, so 10 of Wands is obviously we've got a stormy sea. Now let me shift over. Hang on, at the center of everything, stormy sea, but we're laying down obstacles. 6 of Pentacles. Capricorn, it looks like there's a chance for either balancing things out, some reconciliation. We may have somebody who wants to give quite a huge apology, and that could be like, oh, what a relief. It could be that Capricorn is going to be either nicely surprised or aware that, like, okay, so they are sorry that this happened. Okay, that means a lot. We do have this 9 of Wands. It was something that really hurt Capricorn, but it does feel like there is somebody trying to make it right, somebody who's genuinely remorseful. What's underneath it all? King of Pentacles. Normally, I think this is somebody who's really great. They could be someone who feels like an absolute match for Capricorn. Somebody who's usually patient, kind, generous, loving. But obviously, something got either out of whack between the two of them, or this is a brand new person that is like, I cannot believe that I met somebody. They're taking away the hurt and the pain of the past. They're making me feel like I don't have to keep a guard up. They're making me feel like some old wounds are disappearing because look at how great they're treating me. It's one of two things. It's either somebody is, let's change decks for a second. It's either somebody who is saying, I'm so sorry. Will you forgive me for my trespass? And, I'm sorry that I behaved selfishly or something like that. Nurturer of Cups. This would actually be the Queen of Cups energy, but there's a masculine on it. Divine masculine energy, which is the Emperor in this deck. I don't think that this is somebody who's caused grief. I think that we may have somebody coming in who's new, somebody that is like starting to surprise Capricorn, like, wow, this person's great. Wow, this person they're restoring my faith. They're somebody that I really like them. I'm excited to get to know them. They are different than anybody I've ever met. We got a 6 of Wands upright. We got the 9 of Swords. Oh, so Capricorn has a little bit of like, God, they're making me smile. They're making me laugh. Oh, what if the other shoe drops, and what if they aren't this? I mean, they seem amazing. They're changing my opinion. They're making me believe in love again. They're making me feel hopeful. They're making me feel good. They're making me feel safe. Okay, so it's not somebody trying to make it up to Capricorn. It's that the way a King of Pentacles is behaving toward Capricorn is healing some things in Capricorn's heart, but simultaneously making them feel like, oh gosh, this is really nice. Is this going to go away? Am I going to be heartbroken? Oh man, this is nice, but is this going to fall apart? Recent past, Death card. Recent past was Death card. Big endings, but also big transformations. I feel like Capricorn has really, they've lost a lot in their life, but Capricorn has also been brave enough to say, yeah, I want to not rehash anything from my past. It's okay that I've lost a lot from my past because I don't want something from my past anymore anyway. I want something different. We got a 9 of Cups sideways. I think Capricorn either made peace with some things and said, I haven't been happy with what I had in the past. Maybe I should work on my own happiness. Maybe that's the new perspective. I don't want to look, I'm not saying Capricorn was like an overgiver necessarily in the past, but if they haven't pursued things that made them happy in a long time, haven't thought about their own future, she holds this levitating crystal ball in a long time. I'm thinking that in the recent past, Capricorn had that moment where they said, I think it's about time I do something different. I'm not going to become so selfish. It's all about me, but it's been a long time since I thought about me at all. So I am going to do things to make me happy for a change. And I think that attitude of thinking about oneself has actually been really, really good. How has that been so helpful? Because I think it has a lot to do with this King of Pentacles, the Death card, a second time to clarify the Death card, and the 9 of Cups. Okay, so we know that this year has been a big turnaround for Capricorn. Capricorn has made the decision, I shall do things that make me happier. I shall pursue things that make me happier. I shall. Okay, crowning this storyline is the Page of Wands. I feel like Capricorn's life has become more exciting. I feel like they've got more, ideas of, sparks of fun and passion and thoughts of what they'd like to do and thoughts of things that they can do. This feels really nice. This feels like a great Capricorn, somebody who's got a lot of beautiful plans, beautiful thoughts, beautiful energy in their life. And their higher self has been guiding them toward do things that make you happy, and then happiness will follow. Do things that you're excited about, and then allow people to be drawn to your own light. That like internal mantra, if you could see the way the cards are laid out, because I'm doing a Celtic cross, this is above and below with this component of the story smack dab in the middle. So what we see is on that line of my higher self says, follow things that excite me and inspire me, and trust that it will change my circumstances, and things that are supposed to be in my life that are beautiful, healthy, and vibrating with me will find me. That's the baseline. And in the middle of it, that's exactly what we've got. Capricorn's life is getting better. They're freed of a lot of heavy burdens. They've got somebody coming in who really wants to interact with them, even kind of big and like, hey, will you come play with me? You're awesome. And this is healing wounds that Capricorn maybe didn't even know they were holding. The more they attract things into their life that are better, brighter, more beautiful, the more it's like, oh my God, I can't believe how happy I am. I can't believe how nice everything is. Okay, in the upcoming future, we've got a Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is it's change, it's transformation. Again, we have, picking up that wand and, she's all excited. This is about how we overcome struggles. I feel like this is such a heroic, breath of fresh air kind of story where it's like Capricorn has found their happiness again. They have found the way through obstacles and problems. They have found their way to pursue the life that they really want to have. I'm not saying that there's never going to be a life that doesn't have obstacles and problems, but Capricorn's like, I have such a much better way of dealing with, problems now. I just know that I can get through almost anything. In what Capricorn wishes for with the Magician and the Fool card is literally a life full of like greater adventure and the ability to manifest things and then see them come to fruition, because that's basically what we've been describing. We have a Capricorn who listened to their higher self and said, let me get excited about my life. Let me stop thinking about stuff that's been disappointing. Let me turn my attention to things that I enjoy. Let that lighten me up. Let that become my motivation. And then allow that energy to change everything else in my world. And that is what we see happening here. And now I think that Capricorn's like on a roll. Like, I just want more of this good stuff. This is fun. I'm in a better mood. I believe in happiness. I start to think about things I want to do for me, things that would make me happy. I start, putting positive vibes out there. And then you know what? I'm seeing beautiful results. I'm meeting somebody. I'm meeting people that are great. I am finding solutions to problems. It's really hard to find solutions to problems when everything is like horrible and we're upset and we're really angry, right? We can probably solve problems better when we're in a happier mindset and are thinking about, okay, let's get through this. It's exciting to get a solution going. So I really think that mindset, that energy flow is terrific, really. Okay, let me just take a look at what is the outcome. We're going to go back and talk about that King of Pentacles in just a minute. The outcome, we got Judgment, we got Wheel of Fortune, we got Knight of Pentacles. This is a way of life now. Everything, even though this started kind of simple, right? Everything that Capricorn has decided to put into play in their life has taken on shape. It's their mentality, their philosophy is yielding tangible results, because their outcome is, oh my God, all these new doors are opening for me. My heart is lighter. I'm going to always practice the art of like letting go of obstacles and trusting that I welcome in solutions. I don't look at anything anymore as a burden. I say, okay, this heavy burden I'm releasing in order to make room for my brain to find solutions. Think of thoughts like items. If you had 3 big, huge boxes sitting right in your house, right in your living room entryway, so you couldn't even open your front door, how are you supposed to let anything else in? So even if for a moment, move those big, huge, heavy boxes and put them like outside of your house so that you can open your door, prop it open, and let fresh air come on in. Then maybe that's how we find a solution. But if we only focus on the problem and the problem blocks every concept of how to find a solution because those boxes are stacked there, we can't even open the door and begin to let positive energy in. This is like, I'm just giving like a more tangible, like mental imagery on maybe why this is working for our Capricorn, because we definitely see them saying, okay, anytime that there's boxes in front of my front door, ideas in my head that are, feeling like these are obstacles, I know, shift them over, make space for beautiful things in my life. Remember, I want to do things different. If I'm not having a good time, let me move some of the stuff out of the way of my mind or my heart that's making me sad or making me say this sucks. And let me allow myself instead to say, okay, what would I prefer? What would I like more? What should I welcome in? What should I do different today that will be something I would enjoy since these other things are not working out for me? And I feel like that philosophy shift is what we see with this judgment card. Like, oh my God, this so works. I know how to let go and, surrender it to the universe when I'm all clogged up. And sure enough, every time I do that, I get better results and new doors open. And then I just, start committing myself to this new, better pathway. And I put in some effort and I put in some work. It doesn't mean everything is just like, all I think is everything should be perfect for me. I should never have a moment's sorrow, or everything should be easy and I never have to put in effort. I just think a problem away. No. But I will say that this philosophy shift, it seems like it's one that, sorry, I want to say Gemini right now because I just did a Gemini video, but it seems like one that Capricorn is going to keep with this mentality permanently now. This is a new way of life for them. And it has become one of those situations where it's like, I don't know, everything here just looks so, it looks so nice. It looks so beautiful. It looks like, yeah, I'm totally ready to move in this new direction. Now let's go over here. Let's go back to that very first deck. And I want to know just a bit about this King of Pentacles that Capricorn seems to be attracting. Nine of Wands. And the Nine of Wands, this is more like, this is my safe space. My lighthouses are, it's positive because lighthouses were used to make sure that ships didn't run aground, on the bar. And so the Nine of Wands, although normally that's a wounded warrior card, we see this as like, oh, this is my safety zone. We have King of Swords. I gotta say, there is something about whomever this King of Pentacles is, and I do feel like it's this. Well, I could say it is Capricorn, but I don't feel that way. I feel like this is somebody external to Capricorn that Capricorn's awesome energy is bringing in. This person seems to be fun. This person seems to be patient. This person seems to be like very, it could be somebody that Capricorn works with. It could be a boss. It could be somebody who's business oriented, but they have a sense of stability to them. And they also know life gets really choppy sometimes. And they may have some great anecdotes or stories about like, oh man, I've been through some big old storms. But that's where in life, the more you go through storms, the more you learn how to be a safety zone in a storm. The more you figure out how to be a real friend, how to be somebody who's truthful, how to be somebody that like can be seen as a resource. I don't think this person runs from anything. I think they've been through enough storms of their own that they know how choppy life can get. And they also seem to be the kind of person who's like, yeah, but even when it's bad, you got friends around you and you'll get through the storms. And God, we got King of Cups and we got the Hierophant. I think, come on, for them to be coming out as all of these kings upright, loving, and like patient, truthful, fun. I mean, both times they're like cracking up laughing. This is somebody who doesn't get too wild and jazzed over the upsets in life. They seem to have very much the same philosophy I think that Capricorn has developed. Life is actually still pretty damn good. Sure, it's going to get wild sometimes and stressful sometimes, but, be the best person you can be an anchor for others, be a safety zone for others, be a safe harbor for others, collect amazing people around you with your own amazing energy that you offer others, be that pillar of strength, be kind, be loving. And it's amazing how that alters your entire landscape of your life because you attract people into your life that like you, that would also be there for you. I just feel like this is like their mantra. They really truly are somebody who helps others, who's there for others. They are not an isolationist that's like, well, everybody's out for themselves and everybody's wicked and, just try to manipulate people to get what you want out of them and then, run before they ask you for something in return. Oh no, this person is like, they stand solid in a storm. They genuinely have a lot of wisdom. They probably have a lot of, I think they've developed themselves, their wisdom, their integrity, and their personal power, because we don't see anything frail about this person. We see them as kind of jolly. We see them as somebody who can handle life, and they can also be a support network to others. I feel like they really believe in that. But best of all, I feel like this is exactly the kind of person that Capricorn has wanted to call in for themselves, especially this chapter of their life. I do feel this person could be older than Capricorn, but have a really youthful, energetic spirit. I feel like they could be somebody who, I mean, they may have gray hair, white hair, whatever it may be. They could be a total silver fox. But I think that something about their maturity level really resonates beautifully with Capricorn's spiritual philosophy and energy level. Because that grizzly bear is all about wisdom. And we have kind of like a shamanistic energy here with that Hierophant. I think this is the person that Capricorn's going to marry. I think Capricorn had to get to this point in their life where they handled enough of their own obstacles on their own with this kind of thoughtful, thought-provoking way that led them to this new philosophy. And that is when they are in the same basic mindset as this amazing match for themselves. This I guess I'll just call them the king, even though they come across as a multitude of king energies. I think that that's the perfect match for Capricorn, but it's so wild because Capricorn has the exact same philosophy I think that they do. I feel like this is going to be two people who can literally just have a very harmonious life because neither one is coming in like, oh, I'm scared of this. Well, I'm scared of that. Let's panic and run away from each other. These two are both like, you know what? We'll get through this. You've got these skill sets. I know I can rely on you. You've got this positive outlook. You've got this ability to look for solutions. I feel like there's nothing that Capricorn and this, I do feel this is a person Capricorn will marry, but I feel like there's nothing that these two will not find solutions to, but they'll also not be afraid of when problems arise. I feel like they're going to be a real team and real problem solvers, but there's a wonderful perspective on life that these two share. All right, I'm going to leave that there. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up.